Welcome back to Gaming Top Down. This is David, and today we're going to be unboxing and taking a look at the components for Oath, Chronicles of Empire and Exile. This is the edition with the premium Kickstarter components that look really nice, and I've got to give a shout out to my friend from my game group, Luke. This is his copy of the game that he let me graciously borrow to unbox here for the channel. So very excited to get this one open. This is a game from Leader Games, who made Root prior to Oath, and I think it was their last game before their newest one, which just came out, called Arcs. So yeah, very excited to open this one up. I've got the shrink wrap off, so let's open it up and see what's inside. All right, this is a very big box, so hopefully I'll be able to show everything on the camera. First up are the few different rule books. You have the Law of Oath, similar to the Law of Root. It's kind of a very in-depth rules guide and kind of index if you have any questions about rules. And then, let's do that one last. There is a card here about the Clockwork Prince, an automated player. Double-sided board there. That explains how that works. And two cards, I guess that could go on different sides of the table, as a reference to show how cards work, how to use cards, and then what the different sites refer to, and a summary of, I guess, your turn, or your campaign as they call it here. So those are nice. Okay, and then here is a, wow, a summary of the Chronicle, where it breaks down, again, I believe your turn, how to rebuild. Oh, this is, I believe, how you set up the game the second time onward, since you will be, this isn't a legacy game, but you keep some elements and the game state is changed based on how the play ended last time. So I believe this shows you how to clean up the game after you finished and set up a new one the next time you play. And this is a very complex map here that shows, I guess, the Clockwork Prince's kind of decision tree. Kind of crazy. All right, and then last up is the playbook. It says read me first. That's probably what you will learn how to play with. And yeah, it's a very big and long book. I really like the art in these games from, I think it's Kyle Farron is his name. I think I forgot to mention this game was designed by Cole Worley, who is one of the founders, I think, of Leader Games. Okay, but yeah, this is a 32-page booklet about how to play Oath, and then there's also the more in-depth kind of Law of Oath book as well. Lots to learn. This is a heavy, complex game. I think it's got a complexity level over 4 on Board Game Geek, and that is fairly complex. I would even say very complex, but I've heard that once you have kind of internalized this rule set, it's actually quite a bit simpler to play than you might think, but there is a lot to learn at first. All right, next up, let's there's a lot in here. Let's start with the awesome playmat. That way I can put all the pieces on top of it, and it will look nice and cool. This is a very cool playmat, and I'm really glad that it comes in every version of the game, regardless of if you get the premium like wooden components or if you're playing with cardboard. You have this awesome playmat that shows the 3 different kind of regions, the provinces, the cradle, and the hinterland. And then it has discard piles and places for everything that is related to those areas. So I'm going to leave it just like this, and then we'll put the rest of the pieces on top. All right, so I'll have the box over here. So next up was these boards, and they are each player's board. And let's see, I think the main player, I don't know if main is the right word, but one player each game will be the Chancellor. And the Chancellor, I believe, is the person that's kind of like the king who won the last game. And they also have this secondary board that they can use kind of to, I believe, determine who else they will be granting citizenship to, and there will be some cards out here on these squares. These boards are nice. They're pretty thick. This one's double-sided because it looks like the Clockwork Prince's board is on the back. But it takes you through, just like in Root, which I really appreciate, every step of your turn, so that even though there's a lot going on, you kind of have an agenda or a flow to your turn that you can understand. You also track how much supply you have here, which is kind of your actions, and then you'll put your war bands and your secrets and your coins here as well. So you'll track a lot of stuff here on these boards. You'll then put advisor cards next to the board over here on the side. I haven't read the full rule book, so I don't know all of the rules yet, but just from what I've gathered, that is kind of how these player boards work. So there was that one for the Chancellor, and then there are 5 other ones for different exiles. I'm not sure if the exiles are any different other than the artwork. It doesn't appear so here on first glance. So you've got the exile side, and then if you get turned into a citizen by the Chancellor, you flip your board over and you play a little bit differently in that scenario. So those in a few different colors here. Again, really like the hand-drawn artwork. It's very cool. In red here is kind of this fox-like character. And then blue as this hooded dude with one eye. Very cool. And then yellow as this guy with 4 arms, which would be very handy. He'd be very good at unboxings with 4 arms. All right, that is all of the player boards. So let's move those out of the way. Next up, let's take a look at some of these components. So this is the Chronicle book, which I think might only come with the premium version of the game. I'm going to open it here real quick, so this might be loud. Oh, not too bad. And the Chronicle book has some really cool art here in the inside covers. And at the end of each game, I think you mark some things down here to denote like what the ending condition of the game was. And then whoever won the game gets to write in here their record of victory. And that will also be used to help set up the next game. So it's cool. You kind of create this history of your plays of Oath. I like this approach instead of just going full legacy mode, where it's kind of player driven as opposed to, you know, a pre-set campaign where you do this, then this, then this. This is player driven. Very nice. I don't know that that's real leather, but the book feels nice. Has some cool indented sections and very cool. Okay, we've got some more cardboard tokens here for banners of the people's favor and of the darkest secret. I believe you get these if you have like the most money or the most secrets. And they must do something for you. I'm not exactly sure what, to be honest. Okay, some more. These, I believe, dictate what the win condition for the game is going to be, and there are multiple different Win conditions, it could be the person who holds the darkest secret. If you are a citizen, then you can succeed the Chancellor by helping him win, but having some secondary objective that would make you win in his place. And then if the Chancellor doesn't win, then it kind of goes to this table here in the back. So really nice that there are multiple of those. Holding people's favor, most relics and banners, the darkest secret, or rules the most sites look like the primary four there. And then there's this Oathkeeper piece that if you have this on your turn, in some scenarios, if you start your next turn with it still and it hasn't been stolen from you, then you win. I don't know a ton more of those details, but that is kind of what this card, or that token, is for. All right, next up are a whole bunch of wooden pieces. Let's start with these white ones. And it looks like and I love their very unique pieces. These aren't like standard meeples generally, you know. So they've got lots of war bonds, and then you have your like leader piece. Kind of looks like a cloud. And then a token for scoring, I'm guessing. I think that is maybe it, just the war bands and the leader and the scoring token. So there was white. Put him back in his bag. The black character, let's try not to pull out all of them. There's his leader and war bond pieces. I like how big those leaders are. They're also very thick, which is kind of cool. Okay. Blue was that hooded figure. So he kind of retains his hood-like shape with the one eye and the blue war bond. I think those are called war bonds. I might be calling them the wrong term this whole video, but I believe that's right. And this player plays as the Chancellor. It's a nice big Chancellor piece with the purple war bonds. And they have quite a few more tokens in there that are different. Here is, I'm not exactly sure what this is. A piece with an eyeball on it. I wonder if that has to do with this Oathkeeper piece, maybe? Not sure. But cool looking pieces regardless. And then I think other than that, it's just his, war bonds left in there. Okay, then orange was the fox-like character. His leader here. And the orange war bond. Black on there contrasts really well with orange. And then the yellow character. Very unique character pieces. And the yellow war bond. All right. Those are those pieces. We've got a bunch of cards. We'll worry about the cards in a minute. You also get this world box at the end, which comes empty, I believe. Feels empty, at least. At the end of each playthrough, you will put some components in this box so that they will be used during setup of the next game. That helps with the kind of continuity there. Okay, lots more cards. Get to those in a minute. There are also these, I believe, card dividers, which is kind of handy to keep them separated or in the tray. I believe that's what these are. I don't know what else they would be. So you got Beast cards, Discord cards, Order cards, Dispossessed cards, Hearth cards, Arcane cards, the World deck, and Nomad cards, if I'm understanding that correctly. Those are nice and thick dividers. And then some small square cards as well. Again, we'll get to those in a second. Okay, I'm not going to show these necessarily, but here are the standard edition components for the secrets. Well, let's just pull a couple out. We're here already, might as well. So the secrets and the money, or coin. I'm not exactly sure what term they use for money in this game. That is the standard version, cardboard tokens. And then ending our cardboard journey here, there are also some very small tokens that must be used for some specific things. They say bandit on one side, and then have some icons on the opposite side. So some bandit tokens there. All right, and then before we open the cards, here are kind of the premium components. I do believe the dice come in every version, so let's show them first. We've got orange, blue, and this one purple die. Purple die is a standard D6, but the purple and gold looks really nice. And then the orange and blue dice are, I believe, used for attacking and defense. You can see the blue one has shields on some of the sides, and the orange one has swords generally on its sides. I think you have to have 2 of these unfilled in swords to equal 1 filled in sword. So again, very unique dice. Okay, and then here are the secrets in the wooden versions that have this cool book-like shape. It's a cool idea to have secrets be a currency in the game, since this is kind of a game about political intrigue. A little hard to hold them. I have big shaky hands, but yeah, they look and feel really nice. And then love some metal coins. And here are some of those. And it looks like they are all identical. They have one side with kind of that bird-like character holding with an axe and a crown on his head. And the other side is not exactly sure what that is. 2 hands with a heart floating above it. Kind of looks like a symbol for prosperity or something. Who knows? But they feel really nice. Have these nice kind of raised little segments that give them some extra texture. Those are very cool. So those are the premium components, the wooden secrets and the metal coins. All right, we are almost done here. Last thing, let's take a look at these cards. I'm not going to be able to show every card. There are many cards in this game, as you can see. Some very big ones that are the location cards that go on these spots. And then there are some square cards that go on that Chancellor board that had the square sections that I mentioned. And then lots of kind of more standard shaped cards that are used for a lot of things. So let's open these, and so that I can get them all sleeved and back in the box with those nice dividers. That will be very handy. But yeah, let's start with these location ones. All right, got those open. Here is what they are calling Packet A. I guess you kind of play these, I don't think in order, but kind of has help with setup on some of these cards. So maybe this A section is kind of like their introductory game of some sort. But let's take Packet A and those help cards, and we'll flip them over. Got the planes, Mountain. Nice big cards. They're not linen finished, but they feel nice. Rocky Coast. Lush Coast. Buried Giant. Wastes. Salt Flats. And the Great Slum. It looks like will kind of be used in your first scenario. This tells you how to set up that scenario. Okay, so I'm going to put those back exactly how they were in packet A. And here are the rest of the cards, just really quickly. Again, very cool artwork. These will probably look very nice out here on the different location spots on the board. And I think I have looped through. Okay, those were the location cards. Okay, let's open this one, which says is the archive. Open only after your first game. Uh-oh. Might have a tiny bit of spoilers here. If you're not interested in that, I guess, make sure to skip forward 30 seconds maybe. But here are some of those archive cards. They look very cool. Stop and flip over. Okay. And then a bunch of cards that I'll go through quickly. Again, trying to avoid giving you too much information, but you've got an idea of what is in store for you after your first game, I guess. It looks like there's a bunch of cards that become available after that. Very cool. Okay, let's leave those in a separate pile. All right. This one looks like the standard world deck, maybe, for the first game. All right. And here is the world deck. Looks like they all have the same back. Allies, Bracken. There's a lot of these, so I'm going to just kind of go through very quickly. Oh, I like that War Tortoise. Giant Python. Pied Piper. Threatening Roar. Bird Song card. That seems like a reference back to Root. I think Bird Song is the term they use for the first phase of your turn. Vow of Kinship, Hospital, Vow of Peace. Okay, so there is the what I believe is the world deck. And then we've got some more world deck and another packet here. Let's see what the rest of the world deck looks like. A lot more cards in this game than I thought there would be. Rowdy Pub. Harold. A funny meme. Love that. Saddle Makers. News from Afar. Yeah, just very quickly here. I'm sure some of the fun and discovery from this game will come from, really exploring a lot of these cards as you draw them. So this will just be a very quick look at kind of the diversity of the art and just the sheer number of cards that there are here. And I think those were all world deck cards. They were. Okay, so I will also stick them here by this other world deck stack. And then here in this second to last segment of cards, flip over this card. Not sure. It looks like a few more world cards that go in a very specific place. So we'll leave those how they are ordered there. Stop card and flip over. So yeah, I'm wondering if these are just like set up for your very first game here. Wolves, Spirit Snare, Taming Charm, lots of stop cards in here. Horse Riders, Key to the City, Keep. Okay, let's put those down for a minute. And then, well, looks like that might be the last stop portion. Okay, good. Ooh, Wizard School. As I'm flipping through these, I hope you'll like this video, subscribe to the channel. That would help me out greatly. And let me know if you've played this game. I'm really excited to try it. Root is one of my favorite games, but it is a bear to teach, and especially to kind of bring in new players sometimes. But man, it's such a fun time once everybody knows how to play. I'm imagining that this will be somewhat similar in that fashion, but I'm hoping that it will be a really deep and rich and fulfilling experience once everyone knows how to play. Okay. And the last stop card, just telling me to put all of these in the world deck. So we'll put that packet back exactly how it was. All right, and the last segment of cards, packet C. It's just telling you that the Grand Scepter card is given to the Chancellor. And then a lot of stop cards here again. Ivory Eye. Stop. And Obsidian Cage, Cracked Horn, Whistle. Lots of items that either give you abilities or make it so you cannot do certain things. And then the rest of these. Dragonskin Drum, Book of Records, Map, Circle of Command, Pig, Horned Mask, and Sticky Fire. Okay, and that is all of the cards in the game. Thanks so much for watching. That's going to do it for this unboxing of Oath, Chronicles of Empire and Exile. Very excited to try this one out, see if the kind of not legacy, but legacy adjacent, player-driven campaign is fulfilling. And I hope that the gameplay is fulfilling as well. I've heard that it has a bit of negotiation in it, which is a genre of game I'm generally not a huge fan of, but as long as it's paired with some mechanisms and gameplay that kind of allow for that to not be too dominating and for one person to just steamroll everyone, then I think it could be just fine. Really excited to try it, especially with these nice components. So look forward to that, hopefully on the channel soon, either some gameplay or review thoughts in the coming weeks. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.